Hi, Amod.
Hey, hi, Harika. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
How are you doing?
How is your college going? I think the year must be almost over, right?
Yes, it's not almost over. We be having exams in June, so yeah.
Yeah,
Would you like to tell us something about your work? I mean, something you would like to start about?
yeah. I'll just introduce myself, so that would be easier, right? Yeah. So basically, I'm Amod, and I'm a Thapar pass out of 2016. I did my engineering from electronics instrumentation and control. From Thapar, I went to Futures first and worked there for a year, almost a year probably, before joining FMS for my MBA. And I passed out from FMS in 2019. Post that, I've been working in Xiaomi, and now I'm working in the offline sales department, uh, working across different projects, basically handling across different projects. That's my basically work life right now.
Great. Okay. Let me start with the question with which every engineer must be curious about.
Okay.
Was engineering your first choice? Was it the best option available, or 3 idiots wala kaam hua tha?
Yeah, so I not the first choice, you should say the only choice. So
Yeah.
that was a singular, yeah, that was with me, the singular aspect, singular mindset which went through with me. I didn't think of anything else. Okay, 10th finished. I just took science, maths. I was good in okay in maths and all. So I just took science, and there was like no. I think we are ingrained in that manner, right? How I've been upbringing and everything. Like okay, like engineering is the thing, and I don't know why was I doing it? Did I know that I was good in technical or nothing? Like not at all. I just went there, and then we'll figure it out what to do in life. Probably during engineering. That yeah, that was the main aspect.
Exactly. The only determination we have is we have to do engineering.
Correct, definitely. That was it. That was it with me. Like, okay, I just ended. I don't know the branch I chose, why I chose it. Do I have an interest in electronics? No clue. That at that point of time.
I agree. Okay, so as you told us, you've graduated in electronics and instrumentation control, right? So
Correct.
how did you discover your ultimate goal? Like you were doing managing right now.
Yeah. So
You reached.
when I was in engineering also, so there were like lot of technical subjects, and that wasn't like that they didn't pique my interest too much. But also in like Thapar, we have somewhat management subjects in every semester, be it economics, be it business manager, something like that. Those type of subjects I used to love. I used to attend all the classes and do everything. Then my interest areas, I was like interested in geopolitics, the impact of business. I used to read a lot and everything. So I used to read like if a corporate or I used to like case studies of Harvard and everything. If a corporate decision is making so much impact at this point of time, and that is across geographies, so that is something I was very interested in. That and then I just read about people who have been doing this. Who are those people? And I like they have done MBA and all, many of them. So like okay, let's go towards the management sides more. As it is of my more interest area rather than engineering. Well, that I figured out.
Nice. And also, as I was going through your profile, one very interesting thing I find out was you've done a mountaineering course, if I'm not
Oh
wrong.
yeah,
Would you like to tell
that's my
us something about it?
that's my favorite memory of Harper, right? So after my first year of engineering, so there was an adventure club in Thapar, right? I hope it is still there. So it was started around that time, about like 1 year or 1.5 year when I joined 2011, 2012 somewhat. So these enterprising seniors of ours, uh, they had so I joined in first year, third year seniors of us. They were the first group of students who had went for basic mountaineering course. So it was a special collaboration between Thapar University and IIT Bombay, and they called us for one of their intro lectures. I went there, and they were so inspiring. And they just so there's a movie called Into the Wild. I hope if you have not seen it, just watch it sometime. So yeah, so that gives you basically courage about survival and go out into the wild and break away from the stereotype basically. So our 4 years of engineering summers, we would do internship and everything. Everything is the same like mechanical type of life going on, one thing and the second thing. What's different? What can we do different about our life? So post that. So it was a month long course. So it's a government institution. Atal Bihari Vajpayee Mountaineering Institute in Manali, and the course was for around 26 days. After the after first year, literally free in the summers, right? So that was a life-changing moment for me. Like I discovered so many things about myself, about my nature, how I survive, the things like survival night, you are left in the wilderness and everything. So it makes the character building and everything was done there in those 26 days. Probably before that, in 18 to 19 years of my life, that was 1%, and it was accentuated 10%, 10 times more. Like I literally loved that course. It was tough. Believe me, it was tough. Like it was a military training regimen.
Oh,
Have you seen? Yeah, it. Have you seen the movie Laksh?
yes, 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 yes.
Yes. So yes. So when this Hrithik Roshan and he falls down and he's given punishment to trench through the ropes and everything. Those type of punishments were given if you were late for
That's
two
very
minutes of.
hardcore for a normal person to perform. Those tasks are very
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah. So that type of punishments given even if you were 2 minutes late for a meeting or something like that.
Oh,
So that built discipline and character too much, like, and like those instructors and those 26 days and the friends you made, because there was nothing else, no phones, no internet, nothing, just you, those people, and mountain life.
do you think, I think it's great that these small experiences of 26, 27 days has shaped so much in you that 19 years couldn't build. I think that's great.
That's I totally agree, everyone should do it in Thapar. I don't.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a very wonderful course.
How did you convince your parents for this?
My parents were more enterprising than me when I told them about the course. So first, like when I first about it, then I was like 26 days, tough. Like they told us like it would be very tough. My parents are very enthusiastic about it. You should definitely go. So I had the support of my parents. That was the very most
That's
important thing.
great. Usually parents say नहीं नहीं पहाड़ों पे नहीं चढ़ना ये नहीं
True, exactly. It was the opposite. Like they just go.
Okay, one thing I also noticed is you've been shifting to many positions, many career paths. Like sometimes you've done marketing, then management. So how do you think all these companies and internships have uh, um, shaped you for future?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. So, engineering, mountaineering, then I had technical internships, marketing internship. Then my job was in finance, futures versus core finance, commodity derivatives trading, right? Then post that, I majored in finance in MBA, and my internship was also in a bank, Development Bank of Singapore. Then my current job is not. It's like program management kind of. You manage projects which have an impact for the company across India. So obviously, say if you see any current job of an MBA, right? So if you do a program management or project management, right, you have to handle every aspect of it, be it the financial aspect, be it the marketing aspect, be it the sales aspect. So you are responsible for end-to-end goal of the project. So isn't it great that that one has been going through so many aspects? So if I have to have with the IT team, I have to have a technical discussion. With the finance team, I have to have a finance discussion. With the marketing team, I have to have a marketing discussion for the overall growth of the project. I am equipped in every field because of the various experiences I've had in my life. So that builds you, because that's how, if you have to, that management ladder goes now. You just have, because why do you do those things? So because so that you have an intelligent input for everything. Obviously there'll be people who have expertise in every aspect of them. One would be have expertise in technical, one would be in marketing, but to take that group together and overall growth of the project, you have to got to know almost uh, more than something of everything, right? And that helps with the when you like shift from one thing to the other.
Great. I think it helps you. I think it helps you to build connection with in different fields, and then you know how
Obviously,
to handle people of every field. That's
true,
not
true.
it makes jack of all trades great. Also, when we shift jobs, it comes up with a lot of struggle. Did you ever think, let it be, I'll stick to this one only, I'll not shift, I'll not change my career path or something?
It does actually. Matlab, if you're shifting from finance to marketing or engineering to finance, you have to start again. All the learnings, all the experiences you have had in the past couple of months or the past couple of years, eventually it boils down to zero in the starting. And you have to really push yourself for the first few months to learn those things. But then why do you do that? Because then there should be end goal for you, right? Right, I have to reach there, I have to reach that, I have to do this thing. And if you have a very clear end goal in sight, which is very important, starting first two to three things you might not. You're just jumping from one opportunity to another and you don't know why you're going into that opportunity. But then again, finally you'll have to choose an industry. Okay, e-commerce industry or FMCG industry or IT industry. This is the kind of industry I like, or the banking industry or the consulting industry. You will have to choose an industry. Ki this type of industry, these type of things I am actually beginning to like. Now I have to build myself in that. Now you seek out people who are like 10 to 15 years senior to you. What is it did they do to build those things, right? You'll have to seek out role models or something like that, or shout out a territory on your own. For that, you'll have to see what kind of experiences, like how do you get there and what is it you want. When you have those two things connected, right, then it will become much easier, because you know, because this 3 months or 6 months of hard work will actually make 10 years of my life easier in the end, right? And that is very important for any young professional to chart growth themselves through.
Okay. Like all this through pandemic, we've just grown bellies. I personally have
Yeah.
just grown a belly. So how do you think pandemic has affected you professionally as well as personally?
Professionally, I don't think that much. Yeah, obviously it was a seismic change of work experience, because Xiaomi as a company, we used to work in office, a very collaborating working environment, and to shift to completely work from home in a field like management, where you have to manage a lot of things from one department to another. You'll have to follow up a lot and everything that might stretch out things a little. Professionally wise, the work has obviously, in work from home, when you're working in a collaborative environment, the work would become stretched. But the company has ensured that the morale and everything of the employees always remains good, different kind of activities. And even in those worst times, they didn't undertake any job cut or salary cut, which was very good for the industry, right? So yeah, the company, so they maintain their market leadership, and with they abide by those principles that we are customer first and employee first also, right? And personally, yeah, obviously, yeah, when I was like in the normal stance, we used to play a lot, like football. I like football and tennis, so I used to play tennis and football, and then everything short shop, right? And we used to spend time, like obviously you have to maintain yourself mentally also, because work timings are getting stretched and everything, and physically you're not doing anything. So you will just, yeah, be shifted to, like, you just have to have, like, I was staying up with for friends for some time, and then I moved back home, and I was at home, like, then just bring about board games, darts, jenga, anything that you'll have to eke out moments of happiness to keep yourself personally satisfied, so that you are also able to work professionally. So it's a cycle.
I agree. I think if you don't do these things to keep you charged up, you just can't live in this lockdown all day long, sitting at home doing
Not
nothing.
at all. And no one was used to it. That's the point.
Exactly.
So it was very tough.
I think we need some human interaction other than those four people living in home. So yeah,
Dan, obviously, yes, we do.
great. Okay, one more thing. You said you play football and tennis.
Yes.
Were you on the college team as well?
No, no. So I was not in the college. So I don't play directly very much professionally. I used to play a lot in my tennis court, but I was not a part of the college team. And Thapar, Thapar has sports quota also. Like, they're like national people, sports person, sports people coming, and you have to juggle through a lot of things. So I was not part of the sports team per se, yeah. But I used to play tennis so regularly in college, football not that much in college. But yeah, I play in companies where we play football more.
I will ask you some college-based questions.
Fine, fine.
Uh, when you joined the college, what were your first expectations, and how did you think? How do you think it eventually turned out?
First expectations, it was really overwhelming, because obviously 17 to 18-year-old, all of us, a kid, all of us, like coming into such a big university for the first time. and we just had let's get into engineering. We didn't know what is engineering, right? And so Thapar, as you know, has a very rigorous academic schedule. So many subjects, and like it's very difficult academically, right? And so you have a very good peer set of people, so much learning, and you're just wandering throughout like class, and because you haven't had that kind of experience, one class to another, and hostel life coming for the first time and everything. So just like trying to figure out who you are in this set of things, right? And I think the first semester vanished in that only, like trying to figure out, okay, what to do, what not to do, how to study, how not to study. It was really tough. Like I had to, like, my lowest CGP was in first semester, frankly, lowest CGPA, because I had no clue. Then you start actually figuring out, okay, sit stably and then think, what is it you want, how you're going to do about it. Now you are well settled in this college life. So I think that's with any new experience, be it engineering, or be it if you're going to hostel, be it MBA or anything. Because as humans, when we do a seismic shift in our life, it's tough for us and we take time to adjust. Once we adjust, once we have a set of friends, which, as you said earlier also, we need to socialize, right? Once we have a set of friends, and once you're well adjusted, then you can actually move ahead. Before that, you're just actually finding your spot in that muddy field, and that is very difficult. But once we did, then we knew, okay, this is how to study, this is how to go about college life, these are the extracurriculars you can do. And probably, like, I was interested in management, so I just went about preparing
Uh,
for CAT and everything.
oh, okay. Also, when we are going through the preparation for engineering exams, before for engineering entrance exams, I think we all are trained to believe that ये कर लो, इसके बाद ऐसी ऐश है, इसके बाद कुछ नहीं
True.
पढ़ना. So first semester, I don't think anybody is there to study.
No, no one.
Then suddenly we receive setback, receive setback.
True.
कि, oh, CGPA नहीं आई.
Exactly. It is very true.
Also, you were interested in management. So, what all societies were you a part of, if any?
No, no. So yeah. So I was, as from the third, second, after in my first year summers, I went from. So I was not interested that much. I was not actively participating in college societies per se, but
Okay.
competitions or internships or something like that, extracurricular to it. Like in my third year summers, I did an internship under a professor of management in IIM Lucknow.
Okay.
I did my mountaineering course. Then post third year, in the final year, I was preparing for CAT. I was doing that. So because of mountaineering course, somewhat I was somewhat involved in adventure club for some time, but not much. And then I used to do a lot of quizzing. So obviously, I when there was every quizzing society or something like that, I used to take participate in all the quizzes. And if I was more in participating events and everything,
Mm-hmm.
once I was part of that Saturnalia, I think Aranya that time. I'm not very sure. I don't
Okay.
remember properly. Aranya one, like event preparation and everything. So that, I think, that's like because of the group activity and everything. Your friends are going and all. Like, you just go with the flow, something like that.
You mentioned you were part of Adventure Club. Like now, at this point of time, Adventure Club organizes tours and trips and treks in our college.
Yeah.
At that time, was it the same?
Yeah, so basically, when we joined college, so Adventure Club was at very nascent stage. So
Hmm.
that time there were majorly two activities. One was BMC, mountaineering course in June, and one was that skiing course in December in Gulmarg. Right. So the focus was more on those two things. And towards the end, they started, like, the Adventure Club, the members who
Hmm.
were there in Adventure Club at that point of time, they started organizing treks and trips and everything. So the focus shifted a little bit
Hmm.
towards trips and more. Ideally, it should be only like treks and everything, not
Hmm.
sideways, right? Ideally, that should be the scenario, because trips and all, they can, like, anyone can manage. Adventure Club should be Adventure Club.
So, were you like? Did you enjoy any of their trips and treks?
Yeah, so we went for, yeah, that paragliding to beer billing once in my third year. Yeah, so and that so I was in third year, so mostly second year people went, and like few of us from third year.
Hmm.
Okay. and then there were 70, 80 people from Thapar, and no one could do paragliding that day because the weather turned bad. So
Oh,
everyone went and everyone came back without doing paragliding.
that's bad luck.
Yeah, yeah. And
Far
probably
and
then
then you just
next
come.
year I went with my friends just after. So fourth year, I got placed in Futures First, and next week I went for paragliding.
Yeah, I've noticed after the students get placed, they just go off for trips like this.
Yeah, yeah. So you just manage like okay, free time. So you'll have to see what your friends' companies are there and all if they need support, and if that particular weekend or something like that, you could eke out time. There's no company and there's no nothing you can like no work of yours. You just do a short trip.
Okay. Okay. If given an opportunity to go back to college, what experiences you would like to relive?
College life, yeah. Okay. Mm, yeah, one would be obviously so. Yeah, more activities. Yeah, like hostel life. So in college, basically in hostel, we used to play a lot of cards at that point of time. Normal game cards, like something like that. But I think that is the activity which is like I have spent the most time on during my college life. At night in our hostels, like we just see. So first year was C. I was living in C hostel. So we had that rooms of house sharing and all, like so that community through that like community either people were doing gaming or
Hmm.
people were chit chatting or like you just have to have build a sense of camaraderie among your friends and everything, right? So we used to play a lot of cards and like I miss those times because now those groups are fragmented and everything, and those engineering friends used to have a lot of fun with. And second thing reliving is no expectations or burdens in life. Now
Hmm.
we are at this juncture where like working and like anything our basically decisions impact so many things in, and at that point of time just free to explore, right? Free with life and you have a lot of time with in life. That helps a lot, like that type of freedom I am like craving and missing now.
I love the way how you having such a big fat smile on your face while talking about hostel. And I've
Yeah,
observed in many of the alumni, everybody, I think many of them just get goosebumps when they recall their hostel life. I think it's a
definitely.
lifetime experience.
It is. I love the hostel life.
But a sad fact, I'm a day scholar.
With ski. Oh, yeah, that's that.
uh, and talking about friends, are you in contact with any of your college friends?
Yeah, you will be glad to know I in Bangalore also. Like after my MBA, live with my engineering friends.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So two of the friends from engineering, like so when I got placed in Xiaomi after my MBA, so the location was Bangalore. I just called them up. I knew they were in Bangalore. I've been placed in Xiaomi. They were like, just come directly to a flat the day you're getting coming to Bangalore. From our balcony, you can see Xiaomi's building. Yeah,
Also,
so
finding a known face in an unknown city is always a pleasure.
obviously, so the day I directly just moved in there.
Okay,
So and that's why I don't stay by my MBA friends. I just stay by my engineering friends.
nice. Uh, you already told us about cards. Any other fun hostel stories you would like to share with us?
Fun hostel stories. Yeah. So there are like many things happening in hostel life around the clock, right? So your first probably sneaking in alcohol experience, right? That was like like first time you're doing it and very sneakingly, and that's the fear you have of getting caught or something like that.
Adrenaline rush keeps you going.
Yeah, but I still remember that. Like me and my group of friends who did it, we still remember that every moment, where we went, what we bought, what time we were drinking, because that is something you'll cherish forever. Because still when we said we talk about it, right? So one was that something, yeah, obviously like sometimes see hostels and all, there was like gardens in the middle, right? And when we used to rain and we used to play football and cricket in those gardens. So those kind of impromptu sports activities you could do at any point, and just get out of your room and play, right? Night, probably water fights, something people would start, random things would start in hostel at any point of time. One thing I definitely don't want again, that is birthday beatings.
Oh, yes. I know a lot.
Hostel birthday. Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want a repeat of that. Everything else is fine.
See, I've just heard girls usually don't do this. Girls are always pretty nice to the birthday girl. Boys are naughty ones. They
Uh,
just
I,
beat.
yeah, exactly. I don't want that.
Also, like all the alumni we've interviewed, many of them were very old, very senior to us, so we couldn't relate to
Okay.
them. But you're not that senior to us, so it's amazing how I can relate to you.
Yeah,
I know.
you
Yes,
can just build the connection like because of the timeline.
yes, yes. Uh, okay. Do you think CGPA really matters?
Depends on the type of field you want to go. So if you're coming for an MBA, definitely it will.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
and honest advice, you should like target a good and you can actually get a good CGPA just being sincere enough, right? You have to study, just listen and everything, and you can get a pretty average CGPA because most of the people are not listening and just by studying on the exam day, it's easy to get a high because it's relative grading.
mm,
So in MBA also, they obviously they pick students who have a higher CGPA in engineering and everything.
mm. One question. Tell us about the hangout spots in the campus and even outside the campus. You were most probably be found it.
Campus either yeah, after classes you'll be at Jaggi canteen, so college canteen Jaggi, right? Amul uncle. So we used to eat. Summers were Amul uncle only.
His
That
coffee
chocolate
is
milk.
till date famous.
We used to drink chocolate milk. Okay, that 400 ml and chocolate milk glass, steel glass we used to fill,
Uh-huh.
and that cheese sandwich. Okay, only cheese sandwich and the chocolate milk, and that was my staple diet every day in summers after classes because it was so cold milk, which was very tasty. Summers, Amul uncle, then Jaggi sometimes, or then you like evening you're hanging out with friends, so probably you'll go to COS,
Hmm.
right? And outside campus, so once you move outside campus towards the right, there are a lot of tapris, right? So there
Yes.
was this egg person who used to make omelets and half fries with a chai person, right? So that in winter especially, that his half fry bread and tea was wonderful. Like I still eat half fry and not omelette. I prefer half fry because of that guy still till date. And probably that momos person and that kulcha person were there.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
see, so those were very really good. And then if you go ahead, then bike number part there's 22 like bridge underway, and then you'll just walk around. We used to do a lot of things. We used to like that street TV shows used to come right. Then people used to like tell about which spots in which city,
Uh,
and we used to see that as like there's a famous chaat wala in Patiala, so we'll just walk 4 to 5 kilometers to eat his chaat, eat his or chaat. Like we
oh,
used to do that. Yeah, we were like, yeah, we used to like to normally after classes we'll just go walk and find it.
again, I'm a day scholar, so I already know all these places and no thrill
Okay,
left.
yeah, that's your city. Like it was a new city for
Yes.
us.
Wait. Okay. Have you noticed a shift in mentality of Thapar students as compared to your time reference? I know it's not been much time, it's not been much time, but then if you feel
Mm.
anything has changed in with reference to academic career and socializing.
True, actually, social. If you say socializing and all, people are very more proactive at this point of time. If you see, I think that's also partly in relation to the internet adaptation and boom we are having, right? When we entered college, even WhatsApp was not very prevalent. We used to have Facebook groups,
Mhm.
right? In first year or second year. When the third year started like that, we moved to WhatsApp groups and everything. LinkedIn was not very famous. People were more about like because you'll have to meet people and everything, and that was difficult. So that bridging of gap by technology, which has been done, has made people more towards smart and more proactive and more reachable. I don't think I hardly contacted any like alumni or anything at that point of time when I was in college. But these days, I get like so many Thapar students,
Mhm.
like regarding MBA doubts and everything, seeking out time. So that takes a lot of courage, even if you're seeking an alumni on and seeking out their thought process. What do they think? What did she do? And I think that's a very good aspect students are learning these days, which we used to lack truly.
I think the social media is coming and it's making things quite easier.
True. And which is very good, like which is like connecting people, and so it's helping out the people who are like supposed to grow as leaders in the next
Mm,
generation, which is good for everyone, right? Eventually.
great. Okay, now we'll begin with the rapid fire section.
Okay.
First question is, if a book was written on you, what would you like its title to be?
Book. A book reader. So it's a very tough question, you know. So I okay. So I like, so there's this one quote I like. Okay, very famous quote. When I was a little child, I read it in Times Life, and I still remember that quote. So it goes something like this: "Ship in a harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for." So the implication is being, right, if we are like ships, right, and if we stay at home protected in the safe environment, obviously we'll be safe. But
Mm,
is it something which we are born for, or do we live for? Nothing, right? It has to go out something like that. So probably something, maybe the shipwrecked sailor, a
mm.
person who is getting shipwrecked but still sailing around, because that is, I think, probably facing so many adversities in life, changing aspects, changing career paths, but probably still a sailor, still exploring always.
Deep. Okay, so when you're not working, how do you like to spend your time?
After work, yeah, so I, in my society, I still play tennis sometimes,
With
and I like,
your
uh,
friends?
yeah, with my friends. Okay. And so I like reading articles and geopolitics, as I mentioned earlier. I like that a lot. So there's like some websites or something like that I refer to, where I read articles, what is going on, like new technologies, new startups, new companies, and everything. What are the implications? How is the government policy affecting them and everything? So that you are like very, and this is my hobby. I like to read these things a lot, and sometimes I'll pick up the occasional book. These are like evening or something activities, and when post dinner you obviously are sitting, you just open like TV and like push on a OTT platform, like maybe play Friends, like I like Friends or something like that, watch an episode or two, watch a movie to chill off, and then like sleep.
Friends always
Yeah,
charged you up. I believe the
yeah,
same.
yeah,
Whenever I'm stressed,
obviously.
Friends is the go-to thing.
Same.
It's actually better than having actual friends
No, actually
available
no.
all the time.
Yeah,
Okay, one question I would like to ask you. You were from the beginning, very beginning, you were interested in management,
correct.
right? You were very clear
Correct.
that you are not interested in technical field. But in college, don't you think it's difficult for to find peers like you who are not interested in technical department?
Actually, so there are two aspects to it. It's different. So you will find a lot of people who are not interested in technical, but you
Mhm.
won't find much people interested in management.
Yes. Some
See,
people are just
so
wondering, ढूंढ रहे हैं क्या करना
yeah,
है.
and even if you like some, you will take a card, you'll just start preparing for card. There'll be many people who
Mhm.
started, like 80% will drop off during the preparation stage, right?
Mhm.
Nobody, like many people won't be that serious about.
Mhm.
And then obviously, so that obviously that's a very tough thing, and then you'll have to, because some, so these type of things, if you want, if you think you want to reach that level, it is definitely only up to you when you're preparing. Peer learning helps because you obviously you can study more, because of obviously you FOMO and everything. But
Mhm.
yeah, then you have to be very clear about it, that these are the questions I like. This you have to make it, so if you're preparing for it, you have to make it your pastime. So graduation was something maybe we were pushed into, but post graduation is something we are choosing,
Okay.
right? And then if we are
Mhm.
choosing it, then I have to take it as in my interest area. If,
Mhm.
and I had a good job, even I had a good job offer from campus, I still was preparing for CAT, right?
Okay.
So because I was interested in it.
But then, like, is it not intimidating sometimes? Like, wasn't it sometimes intimidating that everybody is talking about coding, technical stuff, and I have nothing to know, nothing to talk about?
Probably, so it will depend. Na? See, if you are like content with your level of preparation you are doing,
Mhm.
right? So if the cat, obviously you won't know eventually what will happen, but you can
Mhm.
only prepare. And I was very much okay. Ki this I am. You will be giving mocks and everything, and you know, okay, I am not interested in that aspect. I'm not interested in
Mhm.
coding or technical area, and I don't want an electronics job. I already have a finance job at that point of time, right? So the job I wanted in campus, the only job I want, best job I want, I got that. But still, yeah, probably I'll eventually want to go into management. So I started preparing and everything. And there's very tough decisions in life. Like you're faced with tough decisions. So I was waitlisted in FMS the first time, right, when I was a fresher.
Mm.
So I had these 4 to 5. So you have to have an end goal, right? Eventually, I made up my mind. I'll go in these 5 colleges only. So A, B, C,
Mm.
D. This is my own personal list. Okay. And if I don't get it, I'll give it again. So I just joined Futures first and all. Then I gave CAT again, and then I converted FMS. So I joined.
Mm. Okay, coming back to our rapid fire section. Uh, which place did you spend the most of your time in Thapar?
Hostel.
Hostel? Weren't you like okay? Did you miss classes?
Sometimes, yeah. So if the attendance was 75%, I maintained 75%.
Did you attend 75% of the classes?
Yeah, yeah. Our department was very strict. Okay, it was
We
not
usually use
just left for
proxy,
you. Yeah, so that our department was very strict. Okay, so we used to attend 75% of the classes.
and at the time you preferred hostel.
I preferred hostel or some, obviously, because obviously you're going already moving out of the hostel towards classes. That
Mm.
point of time you will go to canteen and everything. But once like post evening you're done and dusted, like you will just come back to the hostel, chill about for some time, chit chat. Basically, I read something. Post dinner, you will just probably start playing cards, as I told you.
Okay. Uh, if given an opportunity to go back in time, what is that one thing you think that you would like to change about yourself as a person?
Change. So probably not change, certainly improve. See, because I, I think changing something would alter. Because through our experiences only we learn things, right? So probably improve. Like I was very shy, okay, when I was really shy. So, and probably because of that, I was not very proactive about some things, maybe to talk
Mm.
to and to get that thing done. Maybe I wanted to and to get that opportunity or something like that. Because I was really shy, I missed certain opportunities. So I like, and basically through that, I learned that this is not how it should supposed to be. And you will have to find your own opportunities and go through them. So probably I'll just want to improve on that aspect. And I don't know.
Okay. What is the one principle that you abide by till date?
Principle. Yeah. So one principle is I've always been straightforward person. Whatever, like, sometimes obviously in corporate life you'll have to be a little diplomatic and everything, but still very straightforward and honest and upward about things, right? I think because our world is so complex, and
Mm.
human beings only make it so complex, right? Because of a lack of probably hideous communication or something like that. And if people start being more like what are they thinking and be to their faces and everything, I really appreciate that quality in a person, and I myself maintain that personality quality.
Mm. I agree. I think it helps you in the long run, although it
So
might hamper your.
it might hamper because of your straightforward nature. Someone or some might person might be fit, but in the end, this is my
Mm.
principle. Okay, some might accept it, some might not accept it. Everyone has
Mm.
their own judgment.
Great. Okay. What is a piece of advice you would like to give to the youth today?
Piece of advice. Okay, so yeah, so first thing so the world we are living in today, like everyone is moving towards like I'm also hustling, you're also hustling, right?
Mm.
Studying, getting that job, getting that promotion, getting that hike, getting that vacation done and everything. We have so many list of things we want to do always.
Mm.
Sometimes because of so much hustling, we miss about we don't sit back and relax and think about actually what we want to do. We just like just like cogs in a wheel, right? It's just the wheel is moving and we are just moving through it. Are we trying eventually ki this I want to be in this wheel? Probably not. I might want to be in another wheel, right? Probably being cycling my way through this. So what people do, they miss about a lot of uh, peace and happiness in life through that. And youngsters also, like there's like everyone is so much tension. Okay, what will I do with my
Mm-hmm.
career and everything? Thinking about it makes it more like, obviously you have to be certain.
Mm-hmm.
If you're disciplined enough and you know what you want, and you have been in a certain position, you are like, if you're studying and everything, and you know you have, even if resources are there, or you'll have to see for those resources. But in the longer run, don't forget that this is life eventually, and you have to be happy in life also. Not everything is about being like full of tension and sadness and everything. So don't forget that part in life, which is very, very important, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And people are missing out in it a lot.
I think with all the competition and pressure coming in, students, especially
Exactly.
these, the very almost every day they are tense, they are depressed.
That's the point. And yeah, so you have to find a coping mechanism for that,
Mm.
because I have been I everyone is stressed at that point of time as students, but don't make it a habit of being stressed. That's my point.
Okay, you mentioned you sometimes go to OTT platforms. So, what
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
best one for you? Netflix?
Best is Netflix. Yeah, yeah. Because so as such, obviously, because I like football also, so that comes on Hotstar. But mostly, content-wise, Netflix. If you see the searching algorithms, the products, right? How their product placement is there, the product managers of them. You search something there, so those things run so smoothly that, which I don't find on other platforms. That is my perception. But
Maybe the reason is because Netflix is in business for quite a long time now. All
so,
these other
but
platforms have
yeah,
come.
probably,
Yes,
probably.
yeah. Okay. So currently, are you a morning person or a night person?
Me, I am a night person. So
I
I
think
have to,
old college habits don't die.
yeah, that is it. Because in college you have to wake up in the morning also for classes there for
Mhm.
office. But in a sense, if you like, I've never been like 5 to 6 a.m. waking up, or I sleep late. Sleep a little late always.
In fact,
Probably not a very good habit, but yeah, I think because of college life.
I think this is the story of every household. Parents keep pushing children to wake up at 5, 6, but I think
Yeah.
personally, I just can't sleep before 10. I don't know why.
And
Uh,
10, I think 10 for me, 10 is also early.
yes, and it's very early.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you prefer vacations in India or abroad?
So okay, so I have like, obviously I have my certain dreams. Like these are the places I so offbeat places, these
Mhm.
kind of this type of
Dream
destination. Like
destinations.
probably, yeah, like I love that, Cappadocia and Turkey, that hot air balloons in the
Oh.
canyons and everything. Yeah, that is a very beautiful sight for me. Maybe probably want to go to one day. I've been to certain places outside India, which I loved, obviously. So yeah, if I have a long break and I'm planning a vacation, I try to, like, if it's possible outside India, then outside India probably, because it's not about, it's more about the culture also. Like in India, I've been living my whole life. I've visited a lot of places. I more and so know about a lot of cultures there. But outside, those type
Mhm.
of streets, the people there and everything, so you have very different experiences there, and you get to learn so many new things. Obviously you'll have setbacks also and everything, you things you don't know about, laws you might be breaking or something like that, but those are very much learning experiences.
You seem to be fond of traveling.
Yeah, I'm fond of traveling.
And sorry to talk about vacations during pandemic.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, it's tough times for everyone.
Okay. In college, what was more important to you, attendance or sleep?
Yeah, obviously, I had to maintain the attendance, but sleep was more important. But yeah, 70, I used to like, obviously, like calculate it, like how to maintain 75.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah,
Seven,
we
one
do
one attendance over 75, and that's it. Rest classes I'm not going.
that. But then, uh, like I told you, we use proxies. So every morning, people start calling their friends for proxies. Laga dena, laga dena. So that
It
works.
depends on department to department, I
Yes,
think,
yes, yes.
sometimes.
Okay, one last question. As you told me, you shifted to from finance to management. Initially, you were also doing marketing. So, what are your
Correct.
future plans? Like, do you plan to stay in this department for a while, or doing you want to explore something else?
So probably, so department by, so industry I'm in a very good, like, industry I'm in, like technology industry, like e-commerce tech
Mm-hmm.
and everything, right? And offline department. So this is the industry which is like next, if you see the next 10 years also, the smartphones and ecosystem products and internet of things products. And
Mm-hmm.
being in a company which is at the forefront of it, of innovation and technology,
Mm-hmm.
throughout the world, right? So like so many new products bringing about every day with so much tech. So I don't think I leave the industry per se. Personally, like the projects, kind of projects I run, which have a huge impact. So Xiaomi as a company, if you see, it gives you a lot of responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
which at an early point of your career, and so your learning graph is very exponential here. So probably that's why it's like I am very much satisfied. But satisfaction, very much satisfied, is also like
Not
two
a
pros
good
and cons,
sometimes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might settle in, but
Mm-hmm.
because company is more like startup kind of thing, right? Because it's always hustling,
Mm-hmm.
and because if you have to be at the forefront of innovation, you have to always have good bring about new strategies, bring about new products. And if you see the market perception also, like you'll see like anyone working in Xiaomi, like they're always working in that aspect, growth and growth and growth and growth, because it's hard to maintain a number one position in that area.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
So I am like more, yeah. So in my field of play, because of management, so it's more like probably you'll have a mix of product, mix of project management, and something like that.
mm-hmm.
But you obviously, once you go into middle management, something you'll have to have aspect with every kind of thing, unless and until you are in core investment banking or consulting. Otherwise, you just have to be. Yeah.
Also, being from a technical background, do you think it helped a lot in Xiaomi?
Uh, Not that much, because the kind of work we do after MBA, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not perfectly like, so we don't have to do technical things per se. Obviously, if you are dealing with the tech team,
Mm-hmm.
it helps a little, because you can catch those things earlier, right? Like you can just probably that code you'll understand better early. You can just study and you'll be able to understand things with Google, and you'll be able to understand what the tech team is asking for from the product team and everything. Probably a little, not that much, yeah, but okay, okay.
Great. Okay. So I think I'm finished. I'm done here. Anything you
Yeah.
would like to ask or say? Anything?
Probably, I think that's the initiative you have at this point of time. It's very good, especially during pandemic times. And so many people would want to know how to go about in 2 years from now, 5 years from now, and 10 years from now.
Yes.
So so the activity the alumni cell is doing is, I think it's very good. So because then people will get to know, okay, post MBA, what is it which is required? What kind
Mm-hmm.
of person am I going to be, right? And that is very important to figure out. Either I want to do an MBA or go into technical side, or I'm just
Mm-hmm.
fine with bachelor's, right? So I think this will help. These kind of initiatives will help a lot of people. So I think kudos to you guys for that.
Thank you. Yes, actually, society aims to provide a direction to all the aspiring engineers and managers. But due to lockdown, so everything is shifted to online.
Obviously,
So we came up with this podcast thing. Earlier, we used to hold offline events where alumni used to come, visit our college, refresh their
yeah,
memories,
I know, but
and give some advice to us also.
everyone misses those times, right?
Yes. Okay, so I think it's done. Thank
I,
you.
yeah.
It was great
Thank you.
having
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much, Amod.
Yeah, same here. Thank you. Thank you so much, Harika. Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.